I'm Nixie, and this week we are back in the nursery because we have Miniverse's answer to the Mini Brands babies. Miniverse, make it mini baby food. You know, the colour of this capsule blends quite nicely into our nursery here. So I have been waiting to get my hands on these, and luckily this week my local Smyths toy store had them in stock. So in this series there are 8 to make and collect, and I've got 5 capsules today. So let's get opening. And you know what, I will try and remember to show you all of the pinholes, but I'm not promising anything. But for this capsule, it is right here. Okay, so let's go for it. Second layer. Nice. Okay, and this is a bit of a different style of capsule. It opens. Feels a bit sort of space agey. Actually, it reminds me of that little capsule thing that Baby Yoda Grogu was in sort of series 1 of The Mandalorian. Like, that's quite like that, isn't it? But anyway, first things first, here is our baby. So my one does have a bit of a messy face going on. We'll see if we can give that a clean. Nope, that does appear to be a bit of a printing error, so we'll just have to say this baby has freckles. But the baby comes in this little chair, and it does have a nappy, which doesn't actually have Velcro. It just kind of sticks. That's an unusual material. And unlike the Mini Brands babies, this one is sitting. And of course at this point we do need to get some Mini Brand babies to do a bit of compare and contrast. So this is a series 1 Mini Brands baby. Now as you can see, this one does have quite a bit bigger head. I'd also say the level of detail on the hands is pretty comparable. Although with this baby, one of them's a fist, one of them looks like it could maybe hold something. The eyelashes are painted more on this one. Both do have sort of painted on strands of hair though. Feet, again, quite comparable I'd say with the amount of detail. And I'd also say size-wise they're quite similar. This one's a little bit bulkier, but kind of on par, I'd say, reasonably, apart from obviously this one having a huge head. But when we then compare with Mini Brand Series 2, I mean, they just really upped their game on their sort of Series 2 baby. Just the amount of detail, sort of moulded detail, like on the hands and the toes. You know, there's no comparison, I think, between these two. Mini Brands is the clear winner. And even though this one is a little bit bigger than Series 1 for Mini Brands, like, still Miniverse head is huge in comparison. But here's all 3 little side by side, just so you can see. And Miniverse, if you are going to do a Series 2, I think you need to up your baby game just as Mini Brands did. But on with the capsule. So we've got this table here and we've connected the chair to it. We then put that inside here. So we've got a little baby eating display area. I do think that's quite a cool concept. Like, so they have thought about how to use the capsule as a proper display case for this series, so I like the thinking behind that. And that is always the plus point with Miniverse. They like to use their capsules as a display rather than just packaging. But in the rest of the capsule we get these guides. The collection guide, we have this set here which includes a little sort of sucky cup, a bowl, a plate divided in sections, a spoon and a fork. Very cute. In the first bag we have some toast by the look of it, and in here we have eggs that are falling apart. And in the second bag we have a knife and spoon, a little masher, a bowl and some avocados. So let's take a quick look at the collector's guide before we carry on. So we've got bottle bundle 1 and bottle bundle 2. They look exactly the same, just different colours. We have cereal and fruit and potato and veggies. We have yogurt and fruit and oatmeal and fruit. We have applesauce, and then finally eggs and avocado, which is the one we've got here. So let's see what we need to do for the eggs and avocado. So it looks like we get our avocado, we get our egg, we mix them together. We then put the other eggs on the tray, the toast, and in the bowl we put the sort of mush of the two. Okay, looks reasonably simple. So let's check out these eggs. This one was already trying to fall apart. So it looks like it opens up to reveal some kinetic sand yolk. Guessing we're going to have to split that in half for the one that's just going to be 2 egg halves. But we're going to be mixing one of these with avocado, so let's pop that in. And let's get these avocados out. Oh look, they've got a little fruit sticker. That is really cute. So let's open this. And this did appear that there was a stone inside, so let's see if we can get... Look! Oh my goodness, like, that is such a cute, silly level of detail having the like stone inside the avocado. Okay, well, I guess we put it with that and then do some mashing. I'm not sure this mashing is doing all that much. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm going to say it'd probably be easier just to do this with your hands, but that's not in the spirit of it, is it? You know, we're making this food for our baby, but you know, off camera, totally use my hands. But it seemed to suggest this goes in the bowl. Now this egg yolk we're going to have to cut in half so it goes in both, and I'm not feeling the bluntness of their knife is particularly going to be working with this. So instead we're going to use my penknife and see if that will cut better. Okay, that was quite nice. And now we can just pop the halves in, like so. So here are our 2 bits of toast, and they do have sort of pre-cut bits. And again, I think for ease, let's use my penknife to sort of cut it. Obviously be careful with anything sharp, but it will make it easier. Right, so we've got our bowl, let's put some bits of the toast and the eggs, and we'll give that to baby with the little mixture. And we've got the little sucky cup, which is absolutely adorable, which, yep, lid comes off and everything. I mean, it's even got a proper hole in the top. It's so cute, I love Miniverse. They're just so detailed. And if we give the fork and the spoon, and there we go, that was our first Miniverse baby with their food. And oh, I do love, it's just the level of detail that Miniverse does, it's so cute. Moving on to our second capsule, and the pinhole is right there. Let's see what is inside this one. Okay, so looks like the capsules are sort of good colour for the room though. I like that we are getting different colour capsules, so they're not all going to be the same. But in here we have... Okay, so this baby's face is a lot clearer than the last, although we are missing just a little bit of the print where the eye line is. And in this one we've got a similar setup with sort of plate, bowl, sucky cup and spoon and fork, but this time they're in pink, and also they're sort of a little teddy bear design. Okay, and inside we've got this kind of squished box of graham crackers. Still kind of hate saying Graham instead of Graham for that name. It's Graham in the UK. But we've got several inside. In our first bag we get a knife, spoon and bowl, another masher, so this kit's very much similar to the last one, and some apples in the green netting. Right, and then in the second bag we get a little shaker of, I'm guessing maybe, yep, cinnamon, it says it on the other side, and 2 little food jars, that's cute. Right, so for this one we get the kinetic sand out of the apple, put it in a bowl, put the cinnamon in, mush it all together, and then put it in either the jar or the bowl. And then we just cut up the crackers and put it all together. See, this is good. This is my level of Miniverse, just quite simple things. Right, so again, with the apples, we've got the little fruit stickers on the outside. We then open it to reveal the sort of kinetic stand. I assume we ought to do both apples, really, as we're, you know, putting it in jars and all sorts. You know, the empty apple skin almost looks a bit like a bell pepper. Maybe has potential uses, therefore. Okay, next we just need to open up our cinnamon and sprinkle some in. I don't really know how much, we'll just try that for now and mush it up. See what it does for us. It's solid at first, the kinetic sand, before we've sort of worked it a bit. But we will keep mashing until we get somewhere. Okay, I'm doing my hands now. Is this good consistency? I don't know if we want it too cinnamony. We'll go with that. Right, so breaking off some to put in the bowl, and now we need to get some in this jar. And look, we even get little sticker labels to put on so that we know what's in the jar. Right, and this says how much was left afterwards, but obviously if we're not using it in the bowl, we can just put it back in the jar. Now let's cut up our crackers and set up for our baby. Okay, and there we go, we've got applesauce crackers and also jar now of applesauce. That's really cute. Right, so on to our third capsule, and the pinhole for this one is just here. Right, let's get this open. Right, so another pink colour capsule, and this one, it appears to be a little bit different. We seem to have a sort of baby in a blanket, and is that called a crib, a bassinet? I don't know terminology. It's a basket, it's technically a basket. It's just sort of, it's plastic, it doesn't feel like something you're meant to necessarily keep permanently, but I quite like it. Right, so this baby is in a little blanket. It's got a cute little pink animal print pattern. Now this baby is lying down, so let's just quickly grab our mini Brands babies just to compare sort of lying down. That head is just so huge though. What's nice is though it has come with a nappy, whereas a lot of times the mini Brands, if they've got a blanket, don't seem to be coming with a nappy, and it's just like, give every single baby a nappy, come on. Like, is it really costing you that much just to produce a nappy for every baby? Now for this baby, we've got this sort of different setup because they're lying down, not sitting up. So I guess we kind of just pop our baby like this and let them sleep. Inside the rest of the capsule, we have these baby bottles. In the first bag, we get some dish soap, this drying rack, and this washing up brush, although mine appears to be a little bit dirty. In the other bag, we get some baby formula, a little scoop, and most exciting, we get a kettle. That is so cool. I assume the top comes off. Come on, I'm sure surely the top comes off. Not easily though. Okay, the top does come off, just with a little bit of persuasion. I mean, that is awesome. Like, that's what you want, because that's got to be Barbie size. Okay, this lady was nearby, acting as our tester, and just look, what an amazing size for Barbie. Like, so pleased with that kettle. And while she's here, obviously, this is her with the baby. So they are, you know, good sized babies, as are the mini Brands. They definitely will work for your dolls. So let's have a look at what we're doing here. Put a scoop of the milk powder into the bottle, fill water in the kettle, put water from the kettle into the bottle, put the lid of the bottle on, shake it, and then we have baby formula. Then after that, we throw away the milk formula, use the soap to rinse out and clean the baby bottle, and then we can put it on the drying rack. I mean, that's quite a cute sort of original idea. I like that. Okay, so let's peel this off, and we will get one little scoop of it, and then pop that into here. We will then pour some water. Perfect. Put this bit on and this bit on. Give it a shake. And there's our milk, and then we can pop the little topper on just to keep it from spilling when not in use. And then when in use, obviously we'd give it to our baby, but it doesn't really have much of an opening. Let's try the mini Brands one, just because this Series 2 baby does. Can we fit this in your mouth? Yeah, kind of. It's holding. But then once it is used, we need to try washing. Can't even get this off now. There we go. Right, I'm just going to borrow a mini Brands capsule just to be our basin. So let's pour that out. Right, I'm just going to assume there's a stopper on here. Yes, let's try and get that out. That back on. And then we should just be able to lift this and squeeze a little bit of soap. Oh, it's probably a bit too much in here. And pour some water. Good job that basin is underneath my hand. And then we use our little scrubbing brush, or whatever else it might be called, to clean out the bottle. I mean, I'm guessing this is real, like, dish soap. There's no reason almost for it not to be. And I am seeing a few little bubbles as well, so yeah, I'm guessing that is dish soap. Can you see the bubbles? But then once we've washed it out, we'll obviously just put it on the drying rack along with all the other little bits. And that's actually really cute. Like, I like the sort of, I don't know, sort of role play aspect of it, that, you know, it's not just about the baby eating, we've got to consider about the washing up as well. I must say I do really like this set, and mainly for the kettle if I'm honest. Moving on though to our fourth and penultimate capsule. And for this one, the pinhole is right here. I'm doing well at remembering them. Ooh, different capsule colour. So let's see what we get in here then. Right, let's open it up and drop everything. Here is our little baby, and it's a blonde baby. For this dishware set, we have a bunny. In this bag, we have some rice crackers. It's Return of the Tweezers. I mean, as if we haven't got enough of these. And a spoon. Then in the second bag, we have some oatmeal and some fruits. Okay, so I think all quite simple here. We just put the oatmeal in, cut the crackers up, put the fruit in, all good. So let's open up this oatmeal. It's got a little sticker here, which is cool because that means it's sort of, I guess, reusable in as much as you can open it and close it. Always like that. Right, let's try and spoon out some of this mixture. So this is, by the look of it, a sort of coarser kinetic sand to a lot of the stuff we've had so far. Pop that in the bowl. And that's our oatmeal done. We will then cut up our rice crackers. Right, so now let's just pop some of the fruit in, like so. We'll put some crackers in. And that's our plate done. And there we go, that is our 4th capsule of food for the baby. And here we are, last capsule. The pinhole for this one is right up here. Glad I did actually remember to show you them all this time. Okay, and looks like we are getting the sort of pale bluish capsules. So in this one we have our little baby. I think this is the darkest one we've had so far. I think by the look of it, this set would have the darkest overall skin tone baby. So I might have to try and get that one just so I've got a nice full range. So for this one, it's another bunny dishware set, but it's in a peachy colour. Something in some foil. I'm feeling potato. Yes, so we have kind of looks like a jacket potato. But also we get carrots and some cute little peas. Then in the other bag, we get this nice little yellow mixing bowl, a spoon and another masher. Right, so for this one, we mash up our potato. We removed the little tiny peas from the pea pod. That is so cute. Chop up the carrot, then kind of chuck it all on the plates and bowl. So let's just get all of this out of the potato, pop it in our bowl and give it a mash. Right, and then it looked like we kind of just popped it in here. I haven't put the whole amount in. And then look how gorgeous these peas are. They are so adorable. Right, I'm just going to be careful not to get them everywhere. Let's go back here. Now that is just too cute. So here is the mash with the peas, and at least with the peas we can technically put those back in the pod if we want to. Whereas with the carrot, this kind of feels a bit of a crime, cutting it up. But fine, we shall do so. Cut it into little pieces. Okay, so I cut 2 up, that was the most carrots I was willing to sacrifice. I am still left with 4 carrots, so it's okay. But there we go. That is our veggie meal for our baby. Nice and healthy. And here we have all 5 of the babies we've opened today. I actually really love this set. I am tempted to get the remaining 3 capsules to complete my set. I'd say favourites, like the kettle. I adore the kettle. I really like all the little sucky cups and the bottles. These pea pods are just adorable. I like that we've not used any resin. It's been like kinetic sand. And then that sort of just white powder to mix with water. Now, I'd say for a Series 2, if Miniverse can get their babies looking as good as Series 2 Mini Brands babies, then Miniverse are now winning the baby game. And we can use some of these bits of food if we want to make sort of Barbie meals, like fruit. We can make a fruit bowl for her. It's all good. Honestly, really love this set. But do let me know, do you think you'll be collecting any of these? Which of the 5 I've opened today is your favourite? And also, I'm curious, what are your suggestions for a Series 2 for Miniverse? Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to be food related, although I know that's what Miniverse is obviously good with. I think maybe some sort of like baby toys might be cool, but I don't know how they can do it as sort of make it. But like that, I would be interested in hearing your suggestions. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you did like it, please do hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos, do subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!